Hey everyone, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the great comments. I really appreciate everyone following through and wondering what's going on with the tank. As you can see, here is the Paludarium. I'm actually going to do a clean and a water change on it right now. So I'm going to time lapse that progress. It's just sitting here with all my plants. Those lights look a whole lot more yellow than they actually are, but the plants are doing quite well, as you can see. So I'm going to go through this with you, and then I'll give you a bit more of an in-depth look after I'm all done. Hello, so I've done a clean. So all I did was do a water change, about 50%. And the frogs actually don't mind that. I find that they get super active afterwards. And so I do about 50% water change. And of course there's a ton of water at the back because we have this false bottom layer. So I'll just do a close-up and let you know how everyone's doing. So I'll start with the bottom here. We have a lot of foliage down here, and I apologize for the reflection. It's just really, really hard. But I do have a large school of white cloud minnows that have been breeding like crazy. I started off with 5, and I don't know, I probably have 40. I had to move some to another tank. There were so many of them. This is my fat female. I think she's gravid because she's the only one that I can see, if it's a she, that is this fat, and they have been chirping at night. So, you know, maybe we'll get some tadpoles, some little eggs one time, but with the fish in there, I don't know if they would end up eating them. So I don't know. As you can see, the plants have grown like crazy. I trim them every month. I've had to rearrange a couple just because some didn't survive or they didn't look good in that spot. And then what I added here was just a little piece of cork bark and put it some really cool moss in and around it, and it's grown right up and over it, and I just love it. I think it just mimics nature. To me, it's like sort of like this Jurassic Park type wilderness, right? So really kind of like that. I have no idea what this plant is, but it grows like crazy. I wouldn't mind some plants that actually had some color in them. So maybe one day. I've had this little pothos sitting up here, and that's about all it does. It's probably way too close to the light, maybe. I don't know. But it usually just gets the 2, and then that's about it. I have this ivy in here as well. It seems to be liking it in here. And then this is a lily, and it blooms constantly. Now, obviously, this plant is way too big for this enclosure for it, you know, because it can't grow all the way up, but it loves it in here. It blooms all the time. The frogs sit on it constantly. And there's one of 7. So I have 7. They say they're fire-bellied toads, but I think, to be honest, they're yellow bellies, because I've given the crickets a diet high in carotene, I believe it is, right? So that sort of reddish pigment that when they eat it, it's supposed to make their bellies go yellow, so, or red, pardon me. But these guys have yellow bellies. So the only thing that I added that was different is this rock sort of structure, and that was purchased. And it's the ones that you see over on the side here. They've got the magnets, and they love hanging out here all the time. So there's that. I know I don't have the best video skills, but trying. So really the plants have done really, really well. The waterfall is still going quite good. So people were asking, how do you change it? So they have this piece of wood that sits on top of this piece of slate. This comes off, the slate isn't permanent. And then I just pull the little pump out. There's no filter in this. It is literally a small pump from Amazon that I think costs $9.99 or something like that. And it's been going for the whole year. We are at over a year since these frogs have been in here. So I guess this is my 1-year anniversary update video. The fountain goes all the way down through this stream that then pours out through here. I find that they'll sit in here quite a bit too. And I can turn it up and make it go faster, but I find this speed is good for them. And then it does go around the back. Again, I put another piece of cork bark back here because I find that they kind of hide, and then it comes out through here under this log, sort of like a double stream. I have 2 frogs that love to hang out in here. That is their home. They actually sit right underneath there, and it's kind of cool just to watch them. There's typically after I clean their home, I give them a meal. So I will do that shortly and see if they are hungry today, which they probably are because they're fattest frogs in town. Oh, here's a close-up of one. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you're so cute. I think that's an Amazon sword. That plant's doing okay. Not the greatest, but all my other ones have gone absolutely crazy. Between the fish poop and the frog poop. Yeah, that's right. See, they're waiting for lunch. They're like, Mom, I know you're gonna feed us. So they're all sitting here because that's usually where I feed them. They're so smart. So, oh, you're in the water. So I just find they become really active after I do a water change. They don't seem stressed at all. I do the water change about once a month. Doesn't take me much time at all. I cut out some of the dead foliage, and that's about it. That is about it. So why don't we feed them? So I feed my, I don't know, yellow bellies, fire bellies, whatever they are, gut-loaded, calcium sprinkled crickets. So that's what I feed them. I usually put a decent amount in because there's lots of hiding spaces, pardon me, in this tank, and they'll feed them for a few days. So you can see they are, hang on, waiting for their food. And yes, see now they're all out. They're like, where's our food? Mom cleaned the tank. I know we get treats after that happens. Very smart. So I'll drop a couple here and see what happens. Oh, right after it. They're probably obese, and I'm sure people will be like, you gotta stop feeding your frogs. I only feed them crickets. I've tried other worms, and they've just never been interested in it. Try to drop them here so they don't jump in the water, because crickets are not the smartest bug on the planet, I don't think. I'm always, oh, there we go. You gonna go eat? Try to film this better, I'm sorry. Yum, 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 yums. Let's see, another one came up. This guy's like, where's my treat? I feed them about 3 times a week. So they are a year old. So they're probably not juveniles anymore. They're over a year old, actually. Oh, look at you, fat mama. She's coming over for a snack. See if we can follow her. Sorry about that. They have the cutest little butts. You don't want to eat on camera? So there's 1, 2, 3, I just dumped 4, here's 5, and there's 2 more in here. Oh, I actually have 1 green guy, 6, and there's 1 more somewhere. So I'm gonna let them eat. They are pretty happy frogs. See, again, Cricket's trying to commit suicide. Prefer to jump in the water. And yes, I have clean hands. And no, I don't handle them. Sometimes I have to nudge them out of the way if they're in my way. But they're pretty happy. They're a pretty happy fat frog family. They're from 2 different clutches. I don't know if they'll breed. They don't eat the fish. I think it's because they're too well fed. Why run and hunt something that when it gets dropped on your front door, right? Skip the dishes for frogs. I hope you guys have enjoyed that update. I will do a little piece. So things I would have done differently, things that I know now that I would have, you know, maybe changed. I had to cut the screen away from here. Sorry, you can see that because somehow one of the frogs got caught back in there. See, look at this guy. He's like, this is my pad. Sorry, let me see. There we go. They're so cool. And one of them got caught in there. And so there is a frog that will go in and out of there. I'm like, I don't know what to do with him. He survives so well. So he goes in and out. There's places to come up, pockets in the back where they can breathe. So of course there's the false bottom. If I showed you the back of this tank, oh, I got the cat eating the leftover crickets. If I showed the back of this tank, all the roots from the plants have actually come down. They're in the water. So they are the filters. They are the filters of this water. They're the ones that really keep it clean. There's lots of tannins in the water because I have a lot of driftwood that has tannins, and tannins is really good for your water. I will prefer the crystal clear because it's pretty to look at, but the frogs do love the tannins. And yeah, so they had a good water change. They are bouncing and moving everywhere. They are in, I'll just close this, the living room. I just had the cat tree here, so I was able to prop my phone up on it. So my dad made me this massive, I don't know, frog attainment center, I guess you could call it. We designed it together, and this is a 36 by 18 by 18 Exoterra. I got it secondhand. I think I paid $100 for it, so I was pretty pumped. There was some things wrong with the screen and it needed to be re-silicone, but it was a really good deal. Again, I really love the greenery. I kind of wish, like, maybe find a smaller bromeliad or something like that to add some color to the tank would be really nice. Yeah, but otherwise I've been able to take a lot of the plants that have grown and proliferated from here and added it to my plant collection, or I've added them into my fish tank. That's a 36-gallon fish tank, and I have a lot of the white cloud minnows in there as well. So they've done incredibly well. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Sorry, I've got kiddos and a job, and I wish I could do this full time. I would love to just make these. If somebody gave me the money just for the supplies, I'd probably do it for free, to be honest, because I absolutely love it. I love being creative. I probably would have made the filter, or where I put the pump in here, a bit bigger, maybe a bit more accessible, so I could put a different size pump in there. I tried to get a different one and it was too big, so limited in that respect, but I think in the long run it'll be fine. You know, they're $9.99, just little pumps that move the water. Again, no filtration at all whatsoever. I've got kittens getting into trouble because the plants are the filtration and the substrate, and you know, this is what's bioactive. I have a ton of springtails in there. I have some dairy cow isopods and some like kind of little gray isopods as well. They don't last as long, but they've been doing better just because, you know, they're food for the frogs. And yeah, it'd be neat if they bred one day, but we'll see. They're only a year old, so I think maybe they take a while for sexual maturity. I'm not really sure. Anyways, you've probably had enough of me yipping and yapping. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that was a good follow-up. Take care.